Hello, my wonderful Coldplay friends out there. We have a lot of news to discuss regarding a new music video, so I'm super excited to talk about that today. But of course, before we get started, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And of course, I do a lot of Coldplay content just like this, so hopefully that's right up your alley. And also, I do have a Discord server where we talk about all this kind of stuff on that too, so the link's in the description for that too. So without further ado, let us talk about this new music video. So first of all, the song that it's going to be for is Beautiful. And a lot of the reason why we know a lot of information about this video so far is because part of the video was shot at the performance in Phoenix. And actually we kind of first heard about this because there were some people at that performance who had to sign an agreement form that you can see right here. And it's interesting because I saw somewhere in the comments that something like the first 75 people who showed up, now I don't know if that's the floor or in the building itself, but they were kind of more involved as part of the video. But if you haven't seen any of that live video of that performance just yet, let's talk about what it actually looks like. So first of all, it looks like the main theme or the main aesthetic of the video involves these Muppets. And when I say Muppets, I actually mean Jim Henson Muppets, like legit stuff. And in this image, it only shows 3 of them, but I'm pretty sure there were actually 4 on the stage. But these guys are actually a band called the Weirdos. And we know this because there were signs on the stage that said Weirdos, and also Chris introduced them as the Weirdos, saying that they're a band and they're better than us and to cheer loudly for them or something like that. But after the performance took place, we got a lot more information about it, including the fact that Matt Whitecross tweeted out this. He said, "There are so many things I'm dying to share about the Coldplay Beautiful shoot, but can't. So I wanted to give a massive Sweetum-sized shout out to the genius at Henson Company for bringing these amazing characters to life. I am in awe of you all." So let's break apart this tweet real quick. First of all, we have Matt Whitecross, which if you haven't heard his name before, I'm sure you're familiar with his work with the documentary of A Head Full of Dreams, which is just an amazing documentary. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely find a way to watch this, because it's just so incredible the way it's crafted, like the way it kind of intertwines the things from the past and the present, and how everything is led up to where they are today is just beautiful. And because this video was so good, the Coldplay community loved him and they just loved his work. So we've been kind of just waiting for him to shoot something else, and it looks like we're getting it. But another thing about this tweet is that it specifically mentions Henson Company, so you know that these are legit Muppets. And I know that a lot of people thought that this was kind of like kiddish because they're involving Muppets, but personally I think this is super cool and kind of just shows how Coldplay is basically just able to do, you know, whatever they want. They can actually have legit Muppets in their music video and in their performances. So that's just amazing to see that. And the last thing I wanted to mention about this tweet is that he says at the beginning that he's dying to share more about this production. So it kind of leads me to believe that what we saw in this performance is not it. Like, it's not going to just be a live performance video with these Muppets. Like, there's probably going to be more to it. So that's exciting to think about, you know, what this full video is going to look like. And one more thing before we move on, I just wanted to say that this is not the first time we're seeing the Weirdos involved in Coldplay, right? Because that lead singer, the main Muppet, has been seen in the performances. I'm pretty sure every performance singing Beautiful with Chris on that small stage, right? So this isn't totally out of the blue. But now that we kind of discussed what it looks like, what we expect from the video, all that, I do have really 2 big questions that I wanted to bring up to you guys. One being, does this band have anything to do with the song Weirdo? And does this band have anything to do with Music the Spheres Volume 2? So let's start off by talking about the song Weirdo. Now, if you don't know what this is, that's okay. It happened a little while ago. I think it was September of last year, 2021. Chris was in an interview and he said something about how they have this song called Weirdo, and it's like one of their best songs, but it's also involved in this musical-like production. And I actually have the full quote for you. He said, "We have a new song called Weirdo, which has been waiting to come out for a long time because we're doing a kind of musical, and the song has been waiting for that." And then he also added that the track is one of our best songs. It just hasn't come out yet. So, I mean, nothing is absolutely confirmed or anything like that, but just thinking about it, that there's this song called Weirdo and that there's this band of Muppets called the Weirdos, it seems very coincidental. And the fact that that was mentioned in an interview not even a year ago, and then we're seeing these Muppets on tour, it seems like there's the potential that these could be related. And of course, like, none of this is confirmed, right? And I'm pretty sure the only time we ever heard about that song was in that interview, and there haven't been any leaks or anything. So there's not a ton of information yet about this, but if there is some connection, I'm sure we'll probably hear about it somewhat soon, and probably maybe even on tour. So definitely keep your eyes out about this and the development of these characters, the Weirdos, and possibly a relation to the song Weirdo. But now I wanted to talk about Music of the Spheres Volume 2. Do these characters have some relation to potentially the next album? And to that, I honestly think there's a strong case for it. Because I mean, think about it, like, the whole thing about Music of the Spheres was all this lore of all these aliens and planets and how they're related to songs and how they have each of their own languages. And here we see the Weirdos, which is another band of Muppets or aliens, and we see them involved in the Music of the Spheres tour. It almost seems like that's a real possibility. And also, if you think about it, I mean, these aliens don't seem to have a planet yet. They don't seem to have a song other than being mentioned in Beautiful. So potentially they'll have their own language and planet, and maybe even new song. And the other thing to think about is that they probably spent a lot of time and effort just making this happen, getting these Muppets, having them involved in each performance, having them involved in a music video, that it seems almost as if they spent all this time making this happen. They wouldn't just use it for live performances and one music video, you know what I mean? And I personally am pretty optimistic that this is not the last time that we're going to see these characters. And I mean, if these characters are related to the song Weirdo, it kind of goes along with what we saw with Music of the Spheres Volume 1. Because you had these alien characters that were related to a planet, and the planet had both a language and a song. So if you have these alien characters called the Weirdos, related to some kind of planet, have some kind of language, and related to the song Weirdo, that just makes a ton of sense to me. But of course, all of this is just me guessing, and I kind of am curious to know your thoughts on this. Do you think that Weirdo and the Weirdos are connected? Do you think that these characters will be on Music of the Spheres Volume 2? Do you like the idea of them being on Music of the Spheres Volume 2? Let me know in the comments below, and even in the Discord, which again is linked in the description. I've been having a ton of fun just chatting with you guys on the Discord about theories, and even the comments below, of course. So thank you guys for everyone who does participate in that. Now, before we get going, I do just have a few quick things to mention about this music video. First of all, there's confetti in the music video, which was super cool to see in the live performance, so look forward to that. I also wanted to mention that Chris's voice, like his parts in this song, are, it looks like sung by the monkey looking Muppet, so it's interesting to think about that, and if he's going to be in the music video or if he's represented by this monkey, or how that works with Allure, I don't know. And then also, they do have a new outro to this song that I've personally never heard before. I don't know if they performed this at any other live performance, but it's kind of cool to hear that, and will probably be represented in the music video too. And then lastly, I already mentioned this before, but it doesn't sound like it's just going to be a live performance video, right? It's not just these Muppets performing live. So it looks like there's going to be more to that. So just look forward to that to come. And very lastly, I just wanted to say that the more news about this, the more I've been listening to the song and just appreciating it. I think when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is really bizarre that they have this voice. And I think I was on the team that was like, okay, give this a chance, whereas some people were really turned off to the song because of that. So if you were one of those people, maybe just listen to it a little bit more, because I've definitely grown in appreciation for the song, even though I kind of liked it at first too. And that, my friends, is everything I wanted to mention in this video here. Thank you so much for sticking around. Of course, I want to know your thoughts about everything I discussed today in the comments below and in the Discord, because I really do appreciate that. Of course, if you haven't done so yet, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, have a great week. Peace.